Hello, and this is a list of the tools that you'll need to work on your barrage and modify it if you so wish. I'll start out by saying the barrage comes with absolutely no tools. You don't get an Allen wrench or a tie iron. So if you get in the barrage and you do not already have tools to work on an RC car, you might want to pick up at least a little bag with at least a tie iron so you can at least take your tires off. Now, I'll start with the ruler. It's inches and it says millimeters. Use that to measure tires and stuff to try to, when I was looking online to find this, to find tires after I ruined those, used it so that way I can match up the size really well. You'll notice that these ones are sitting down. Might look like they're a hair smaller than these ones. They're actually not. These are 108 millimeters. And this one's 108 millimeter. Now, a big screwdriver and a little electrical screwdriver for the little screws. This one will not work in the big screws, and this one will not work in the little screws. On this one, you'll eventually start skipping your heads to where you'll have a very hard time trying to take your screws out. Need those pliers for when I do change the body height on several screws to either hold so you can either get a wrench on something so you can wrench it off, or just so you can free spin fast with the pliers instead of trying to take apart a whole bunch of your truck just so you can get in there and try to spin enough of this to turn it. Allen wrenches, you'll need at least 2 to 3 sizes. I always use 3 sizes. One for little things like the little screws on the rims, holding the motor gear, a little bit bigger for taking out the motors, and even bigger still usually for taking out your drive shafts. Those are the basic tools needed for just working on it. Now for modifications. I used a little small tooling hammer on making skid plates, as well as several different types of pliers. But if you've seen the video before this one, you know I was removing a tire from a rim, so they're pretty much filthy because I did get the tire off, but I haven't cleaned up. I still have to clean up 3 pairs of tires, and this one still needs a little bit of cleaning and still needs to be fixed, but I just wanted to see how it would look on the rim. A nice sharp pair of cutters to cut either your the zip ties off, or to cut out and change connections on wires if you so choose to go that far. At the wall for grinding, cutting, and shaping, I made this guy just out of some stuff I had around, and then electrical tape to either set the truck up in high center or high center the axles onto it, lift it up when the tires are off so I don't have axles just laying. And I'll actually show you, my truck should stand on this and have all 3 wheels on the ground. I use a flashlight to get in places I can't see, along with another light, and for the really dark areas, and for my night crawls, a headlamp that has 3 different settings of brightness. A bigger pair of snips for when I was working with lighter metal like this, and should be able to cut through the heavier metal that I picked up earlier today from the hobby store. Now, I was asked in a video what grease is best for it. I don't know what grease is best, but that WD-40 right there is exactly what's in my servo right now. I did not actually spray it in there. I just kind of press the top down hard enough to kind of make some of it bubble out of it and just kind of looped it onto my gears, and very carefully, while my servo was open, held the gears into place, plugged my battery in, and just gave it a little turn to work it through the gears a little bit, and then put my case on. And the one tool that has gone missing on me, and I swear it has grown legs now for the second time and has left its home, is actually a tool that the DeWalt has, or the Dremel has. Which, another thing I'll show you, which I have, is this, and there's a tool that decides that it never wants to be where I leave it or in its home. But cutting, grinding, you'll see stuff's missing. Polishers, stuff that's missing is down here. And it does get used, and that probably needs to be greased up because it just makes one heck of a racket now while I'm using it. And this bag right here, that's the bag of screws for my new rims. That's they sell them in just a pair, so I had to buy two, which is actually pretty nice because they actually threw in a decal for it, which I'm not sure if maybe put two of them on, one there, there, or use one on this body, and when I either get a new body or make a body, throw this one maybe somewhere down upon the bed, and that way I still have one more decal for the next body. And these tires are actually the rims are actually very nice. I'm actually very happy with it. It was not a very cheap buy, but I wanted to get these tires back and working again because they still have, you can't get that camera to focus on it. It still has a whole lot of its tread left on it. It just needs to be cleaned up. All those splotches is just the glue and the plastic from when I took it off of the old rim. But I have enough uncure to clean up all these tires and they'll be looking as good as new. Just as a side note, if you're gonna go cleaning up your tires and you have the tear in it like I do, right there, as you can see, I will be hopefully fixing that here shortly. And the reason why this video is going to be a little long is I'm also going to show you I actually finished the modification on the tray, and my battery sits in there without rubbing at all now. So it is in, it sits very nicely. I'll put this up here because I am planning on putting this battery up in here somewhere, not to run at the same time, but to have a battery for when I go out on the trails. This one's to get me out to where I want to start crawling, so I don't have to carry my truck. And then I'll drive on this one when I'm actually crawling. And when this one dies, let everything cool off, and then drive back to my vehicle and return home. So I am kind of thinking about planning on putting this back in somewhere. And if this motor can't handle it, I'll either have to probably bump up to a lot larger motor, which hopefully I don't. Hopefully this can do it. And hopefully I can get out there tomorrow and I'll actually make a video of it running on this battery. Now, for those of you wondering exactly what I did to change this battery, or to have this battery where it fits and does not touch my shocks at all. It's actually 100% off. I am a big fan, and I'll show you how I ran my wiring to the rear, because I actually think I did a pretty nice job of getting that everything just off of those shocks. It's all freed up right there, so nothing will ever touch it. It is just crisscrossed under my battery tray right here, underneath those two. And the reason why I have flashlights, to show you yet again, I flipped the bar, and when I was there I just went ahead and flipped both of them. And there is two 4mm washers that I got from the hobby store. underneath the tray to add it just enough to get it off of these little black parts right here, so that way those will move 100% freely when it's articulating. And I put this all the way out on the front and on the back, and with the two washers it just flips right over the top of this back bar. I will make another video to demonstrate that because I have to stop this one right now.